Sorry I didn't upload anything this past week. I'm actually recording this the week before. I'm going to be out of town the end of this week and the weekend leading up to this video for a music festival, so sorry about that. I know a lot of kind of crazy stuff has been happening lately. The Deshaun Watson appeal from the NFL was just announced today, so we're gonna have to see what happens with that. Some injuries been going on. I'm gonna catch up on all of this stuff this upcoming week, so stay tuned for those videos. But today we coming at you, like I said, with a brand new mock draft. You guys have been absolutely killing these videos. They've been doing super good, so make sure to drop a like on this, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be having a bunch of content come in. If you've been here more than once, definitely drop a sub. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want. I got some in mind, but definitely will do anything that anyone wants, so let me know. Now with that said, let's get into this video. Now I'm going to be going from the 1 pick today. I went from the 10 last time, so doing the opposite of that, kind of just going over all the spots. We're obviously going to hit all of them at some point and then start going back through them. Now obviously my first pick is going to be Jonathan Taylor. That's who I have at the 101. Some people have Christian McCaffrey, but I think it's Jonathan Taylor pretty clear. He was last year, and he's going to be with the same offense this upcoming year, so no reason for him not to be up here. So I'll take JT. Pretty normal first round. We see all three of the wide receivers go. Yeah, this is pretty much how it all should look. Ooh, look at this. You know, I don't really go for the quarterbacks or tight ends early, but I think in the third round, that's kind of where I will take them. So if Mark Andrews being here, this is where I will take him. So I'm going to do that here. Kind of see how my team pans out. That's the beauty of doing mock drafts, is that we can figure out what we actually do like and don't like. I'll take them here. We look at the wide receivers. We see Debo. He would be my clear wide receiver here. He just got extended finally. And he also said himself that he's still going to be doing the running back role. So I think that clearly puts him up here. So he would definitely be who I would take here. At the running back position, it'd be between Aaron Jones and Leonard Fournette. I'm a little bit conflicted here because I think Debo is in his own tier, where I have Leonard Fournette and Aaron Jones in their kind of own tier, and they're in like the tier 3, whereas Debo Samuel's in tier 2. But obviously there's a positional advantage with the running backs, and if you can hit on the high ones. I'm going to go Debo though, because he's in that tier 2 of the wide receivers, I think, and these guys are in tier 3, and I think that can just kind of give me a positional advantage everywhere. And we can also see how my team pans out. I think I normally would go the running back here, but because I said it's a mock draft, we kind of want to see what happens. I'm going to go Debo here, but in a lot of instances I would go either Aaron Jones or Leonard Fournette, but we're going to ride with Debo, see how our team turns out. But we got 3 absolute dogs. Yeah, we see Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes go in the 3rd round, Kyle Pitts in the 4th, and see if anyone really falls to us at a value. That's kind of the nice thing about being at these end picks. The one thing you really have to worry about is that any guy that you want is not going to be there at your next pick, so you need to take your guys when they're available. So let's see, if we look at the running back, because I definitely need one, Travis Etienne is definitely who I have the highest out of the guys left, so no question about it. I'm taking him, locking at my running back 2 spot. My next guy would probably be J.K. Dobbins, but we're going to see what we got wide receiver. Yeah, they got some good wide receivers. In my tier of wide receivers, I have Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore, Michael Pittman. They're all kind of the same. I'll eliminate Michael Pittman for this one because I have Jonathan Taylor, and I'm never a huge fan of mixing the running back and wide receiver combination, especially when it's like your main running back and or main wide receiver. Once those combinations are a little bit lower in the draft, then it's not as big of a deal. So it's going to be between Terry McLaurin and DJ Moore. I don't know how anyone could tell you who's going to finish better than them. They're in the same tier for me. That's what I have tiers for. You've heard me talk about it a bunch, so I'd be cool with you taking either of them. I have Terry McLaurin ranked 1 spot ahead, so I'll take him, but I'm really splitting hairs there. I don't really care who you take between them. And now because I took Mark Andrews here at the tight end early, I'm definitely not taking quarterback till late, which I normally do anyways, but that just solidifies it. I've done another mock draft recently where I had Joe Burrow fall to me in the 7th round, so I would take him here. Even like right here, I think he's a great pick here, but I'm not going to take him. The running backs left, I would probably take A.J. Dillon here. I think he's a ton of upside. He showed to be an absolute beast last year, and I think he's just going to be a bigger part of the offense, especially with Devontae leaving. The wide receiver, I'm a little bit worried about Marquise just because of the whole like legal troubles that I got into, but I don't think he'll be suspended or anything like that. It was just, I think he was speeding, which is super dumb of him. Don't do that. But regardless, I have him ranked way ahead of all of these wide receivers, so I'll take him here. And then I'll also take A.J. Dillon because I said that, and I still need more running backs. I'm starting to groan more and more on Clyde, but I just truthfully don't think he's that good of a football player. I mean, obviously he's an insane football player, but like, you know what I mean? Like an elite of the elite guys, like that are these super fantasy relevant guys. Obviously some dude with a microphone calling one of these guys not a good football player is ridiculous, but you know what I mean. I view all of these guys similarly to Chase I like Chase Edmonds though. I think he's a great value down here. I think I've said that in pretty much every single video. I'm also a big fan of Gabe Davis this year. I think a lot of people are. He just has so much upside, and he's such a good football player, and he's with one of the best offenses in the NFL, so it makes a ton of sense. But I think the wide receiver 1 ability of Darnell Mooney is just more valuable for fantasy. So I'm probably going to take those two guys there. Not Chase Edmonds, sorry. I'm going to take Tony Pollard. I have Tony Pollard ranked ahead. I think he's a way better player on a way better offense. He's just obviously behind Ezekiel Elliott, although I think the time will be much more split now and probably will just be growing more and more in Tony Pollard's favor as the season goes on. All right, this is normally where I'll start looking at quarterbacks. I think Tom Brady is a clear quarterback here, so I'll just take him to lock that up right away. We look at running backs. I mean, honestly, I like the people that value more down here than the guys up here, so I think I'll stay away from them. I think I've talked about it in a lot of videos, I really like Christian Kirk this year just because he's a wide receiver 1 for his team, even though it's the Jaguars. I think getting that volume and opportunity is really valuable. Kind of the same situation with Allen Lazard. He just isn't as a clear cut in being the wide receiver 1, although I kind of think he will be. But I think the most upside here is Sky Moore. He is an absolute beast. There's been great reviews of him out of camp so far. They've lost Tyreek Hill obviously this year, so I think with the upside he has, what we've been hearing from him, and also like kind of the unknown with the rookie wide receivers or just the rookies in general, that unknown's always nice, part of a great offense. There's just a lot of things that line up well for him here. Also as my wide receiver 5, I'll take that all day, so I'm going to take Sky Moore here as my next pick. Yeah, we see a bit of a quarterback tight end run, pretty common around this time. For once, I actually have mine figured out by the 10th round. That's crazy. Oh, I'm a big fan of Dameon Pierce right here, so I'm going to take him. Probably be my last running back. Kind of just lock that up. 5 solid running backs there. If we look at wide receivers here, kind of the same thing with MVS that I was talking about with Sky Moore, but I don't really want to double up with those teams. I'll go with Jamison Williams here. I think Michael Gallup is also going to be out for a while. I'll go with the rookie upside of JMO right here. Big fan of him as a talent. There's actually a lot of talk of him being the wide receiver 1 if he wasn't hurt. I never really thought that was the case, but it sounded like that was a real thing. I'm liking this team a lot right here. Going to double up for my last picks right here. I don't really need any backups, so probably won't take any here. Although there are some good, I like Justin Fields as a backup for some high upside. I mean, at this point too, there's nobody there's a lot of different people. I like all the rookies. I just don't like having 3 rookies on my team, which is kind of why I'm deterred from Jahan Dotson. I'll take Marlon Mack, get the rest of that Houston, so he might start off for it. And, if he has some juice, he can keep going. He's someone that I've really started growing on late in drafts. So just kind of the whole thing with the ability to get opportunity is one of the biggest things for running backs. So someone like Marlon Mack will definitely have the opportunity to do it. So he could be valuable. And so late in drafts is someone I've really started to like a lot. I was loving Tim Patrick too here, but he obviously tore his ACL and can be out for the season, which is a massive bummer. I also like Jalen Tolbert a lot. I think he can fill in for the Dallas team right away. Julio Jones, always interesting to get that stack. Screw it, I'm gonna take Julio just because he's the man. No real reason for it. Get that Tom Brady stack, see if he's part of the offense. If he's not, I can drop him week 1. No big deal. That's always, I talked about that in my last video. Getting the people that you can drop week 1 after you see their role is super valuable, because when you have people that are just taking up roster spots, it's extremely unnecessary and not good for your team. Those first 2 weeks are also the most valuable waiver wire pickup. So if you can have extra roster spots, it's really nice to have. So people like Julio Jones or Kenny Golladay that you'll kind of see their role right away, I think are great picks late in drafts. All right, let's look at my team though. We got Tom Brady, Jonathan Taylor, Travis Etienne, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Mark Andrews, Hollywood, AJ Dillon, Darnell Mooney, Tony Pollard, Sky Moore, Dameon Pierce, Jamison Williams, Marlon Mack, Julio Jones. Honestly, absolutely love this team. One of my favorite teams I've actually drafted. Getting that tight end at the value that I got him at, I think is really nice. Obviously, it's a massive help when you get arguably the best player in fantasy. I just felt like I got a lot of good value here. So let me know if you agree with me. Let me know if you think my team stinks. Got no issue with that. We can look at some other teams here who we like. Not a huge fan of that star right there. Your wide receiver 1 being Chris Godwin's tough. Don't really love any of these all too much. I like this team right here. Najee, CD, AJ, James Conner, Josh Jacobs, Allen Robinson, Joe Burrow, Adam. I really like, this is a great team right here. The double tight ends are probably unnecessary, but for the most part, I really like that team. Not a bad team either right here. These two teams are probably my favorites. I really like this team though. You can kind of see why. Kind of the same idea. Kadarius Toney late. Kirk Cousins is a backup. J.D. McKissick, Gus Edwards, Robert Wood. For the most part, solid team right there. I like that. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to see. Like I said, planning on a bunch more content coming soon. This fantasy season is really starting to ramp up, and we're going to get into it. Take home a bunch of championships. So stick tuned for those, and I will see y'all in those ones. Later.